They tell us that it's a linear relationship. So notice as x goes up by 1, y goes up by 2k plus 2. So 2k plus 2 divided by 1. And our intercept, when x is 0, y is 0, so the intercept is 0. So I don't see 2k plus 2 right away, but if you look here, when you distribute that, you get 2kx plus 2x, which is 2k plus 2 times x. A is your answer. Line M has a slope of negative 3/4. Line P is parallel, so it has the same slope, negative 3/4, which all of these do. And we pass through this point, so we can use y equals mx plus b to find out the b value. Negative 3 is equal to the slope of negative 3/4 times 4 plus b. So negative 3 is equal to negative 12/4 plus b, or 0 is equal to b. So if we think about this as tables and chairs, when we have one table, we have 8 chairs. When we have 2 tables, we have 14. When we have 3 tables, we have 20. Notice our slope, we are increasing whenever the tables goes up by 1, the chairs goes up by 6. So our slope is 6. And if we plug in a specific value, like 8 is equal to 6 times 1 plus b, we figure out that our intercept is equal to 2. So we're looking for an equation that says y is equal to 6x plus 2. And I don't see that right away, but again, if you distribute the 2, we get 6n plus 2. So that's the right answer. Temperature is decreasing at a constant rate and over 5 seconds. So our new temperature is 25 minus our original and divided by 5. So this is negative 75 over 5, or in other words, negative 15. So it's not A or C. And D is the right answer because we start off at 100 and we decrease at this amount over time. So the P here represents the purchase price, and the R of P represents the monthly rental price. So this is kind of like X and this is kind of like Y. So if we are looking at the other thing that is extremely important, they underlined it, is that our purchase price is in thousands of dollars. So we can pretty much ignore everything right there. So I'm going to look at 1310 minus 950 all over 176 minus 128. So this is my slope. If I divide that out, I get 7.5. D. So as x increases by 2a, y increases by negative a. So that's negative a divided by 2. Notice the a's cancel out and it's just negative 1/2. So that tells me that it's either a or b, because if I subtract the x on both sides and then divide by 2, I get my slope. But how do I know which one out of a or b? Well, I have this point here. When y is 0, x has to be a. And that's why this one is correct. So we're talking about stored W. If we sell 4 tires, that's 4A. But we buy 3 at list price and get the 4th tire free, so that's really just going to be 3A. And the installation fee is $50. And then we also have the total expenses. So that's going to be minus 100. So 3A minus 50 when we combine everything. That'll give us our profit. As the year goes up by 10, the population decreased by 16. So I'll take 16 over 10, or it goes down by 1.6. So there's 2 that have a slope of 1.6 here, but I can rule out B and C. And this is modeled years after 2000, so our initial value is going to be 862. So A has the correct intercept. So we start off with this much fuel, and we can use this 5 gallons per mile and 550 miles per hour times T hours, and we get rid of all the units we don't want, and that'll just subtract the right number of gallons. So when we take 5 times 550, that's 2750. So we are decreasing by 2750 every hour. So we have gaps at different temperatures. Here's one at 40 degrees and here's one at 100 degrees. If we take a look, temperature is kind of like our x value, and the gap width is kind of like our y value. So I'm going to use that with the slope formula. And I'm going to take the gap width 1.875 minus the other gap width 2.875 all over the 100 degrees minus the 40 degrees. So my slope is negative 1 over 60. So I'm going to rule these two out, and it appears to be the major difference is about the starting point. And the starting point, if we plug in 40, that's when we get 0. So the starting point should actually be 2.875. So the number of students who have one sibling is 3 times n, so 3n, and n represents those who have 2 or more siblings, and then 0 siblings is equal to 6. So in total, I have 3n plus 6, and that is 30. So 4n plus 6 is equal to 30.